Hello everyone, it's Laffy Traffy. We got to see Beppo. Time for my review of chapter 1016 of One Piece. This is Tama. We dive right in, we see the flower capital, and then the CP9, and then Nami, and then lots of stuff. Spoilers! Oh my god, hello again. Beautiful kitten. Are you gonna eat the microphone? Welcome to my podcast called One Piece of Kitten. Why do you exist, kitten? Why? Anyway, the chapter was packed with a bunch of stuff. Overall, though, I mean, it kind of lacked the oomph of the last few chapters, and it seemed maybe a little short, but I don't know if it's actually short page-wise, but it just felt like that when I was reading through it. But, I mean, you can't judge an average chapter by, you know, the god tier that we've been getting. So, nothing against the chapter, just nothing crazy happened. It was definitely mostly centered on Nami and her climatact, Zeus. So, I mean, we still got a lot of really cool information, and we got a little bit of updates here and there. But, before we go into it, page by page, feel free to go check out my reaction to chapter 1016. And if you like that video, and you like this video, and you like any other video that I might have done that you might have watched, feel free to subscribe. Because you wouldn't want to disappoint this face, now would you? Can you even see her face? You wouldn't want to disappoint this face. Roll a persuasion check, Keycat. Also, check me out on Twitch and Twitter for more anime, One Piece, and gaming content. I also do my live reaction live streams on Fridays at 12 Eastern Standard Time for, you know, when the chapters are out. We have a break this week, so we won't be doing it this week, but I stream various other games. Maybe I'll get to something this week. But yeah, go follow me on Twitch and Twitter if you're interested in that. But with that all out of the way, let's go into chapter 1016 of One Piece. This is Otama. So we start off looking at the flower capital. We get a little bit of an update of what's going on over there. You can almost see it off into the distance. The little Onigashima coming towards us for distraction. But no one is aware of the tragedy that might take place soon, but everyone's having a great time. We see Otoko and Hitetsu speaking about the fire and why it's so high up in the air, and that is because they want the people in the heavens to see it, and Otoko wonders if her father is looking down upon her from the heavens as well. And, you know, Hitetsu says, like, you know, probably, because he's a little bit invested in the fate of this country. So we're sure that Yasue is looking down and watching them as they speak. Fun SBS fact, if you haven't read the most recent one, Yasue is actually not Otoko's blood father. She's actually his adopted daughter. He found her as a baby after his wife passed away, and he just took her under his wing, and she doesn't even know that she's adopted. She probably won't know, but I just thought that was a really interesting fact that they weren't actually blood related. But it's really sad, and it's a very heartwarming little scene here, so we get to see all of the laughter and joy that is going to come crumbling down at some point. Because then we cut to Onigashima flying through the sky with ominous music playing. CP0 is still here in case you forgot, because I didn't. Nah. They give us an update on the numbers in the war. The numbers started out, if you remember a few chapters ago, it was 27 to 5 odds. But now many have fallen on both sides, but overall it was brought down to 24 to 3. But Queen started rampaging and not really caring about his subordinates, so a lot of them, as we've all seen, are kind of rebelling against him at the moment and rooting for Chopper in the main hall stage festival area. So with that, that's about 4,000 people, which was crazy that there's that many people in there, but that is the main banquet area, so it makes sense if there's 20,000 people here that a lot of them would be in that one area. But so with those 4,000 people rebelling and switching over sides, thanks to Queen, it is now 20-7. 20,000 versus 7,000. And we get a nice little view of the go board here. Odds are getting better for our allies, but the real odds that I want to know is what are the odds that CP0 is going to be staying in their little conference room while everything plays out around them? That's the question. And just to clarify, the 20 versus 7 does not include Tama's allies that she has been working towards in turning over to their side, because it specifically says the pleasures and the waiters on the performance floor are rebelling against Queen. These are not the gifters. These are not people who can be swayed by Tama's fruit. These are just the people that Queen had convinced to not fight for them anymore, which is that's pretty impressive. And you know, Queen's not doing too well on that aspect right now. But yeah, Tama has yet to give her order, and even though we see a few beast pirates here or there where she is fighting against them, the informants don't really know that yet, so that is not taken into consideration. Once that's taken into consideration, then I'm really interested in what the odds are going to be after that. It's still stacked against our allies, but realistically, I mean, it's the heavy hitters that count, and everyone's pretty evenly matched there, so I feel like all the remaining beast pirates at the end, like once the Tobi Roppo have all fallen, once Big Mom and Kaido are out of the picture, Orochi is gone, the Oniwabanshu, like how many beast pirates are really going to stick around? Because there's probably going to be a lot left over, considering the odds, so yeah, we'll have to see about that. I don't think it's going to be an issue once the big hitters are gone. Which is ironic because Kaido's side keeps trying to dampen the morale of the allies by saying, Luffy's gone, Momo's gone, you have no reason to fight, stop. But what's really gonna happen is that Kaido and Big Mom and Tobi Roppo and all of them are gonna fall, and then the beast pirates are gonna be the ones who really stop fighting. A little bit of an irony right there. I am interested though in what Otama's order will be, because it seems like it should be a pretty basic order of fight for us, fight for me, whatever, but they cut her off and it has like a kind of really amps up the mood because we see her about to give off her speech and everyone's reacting to it. So it's interesting that they cut it off there. It makes me even more interested in it, like what else could it be? Maybe Usopp and Nami have been talking with Tama and trying to figure out a strategy that maybe you don't want the beast pirates just to go fight for you. Maybe there's something else. Okay. What? I mean, if Tama turns really dark out of nowhere, could she command them to all just jump off of Onigashima and just get rid of the problem? I mean, I feel like fighting on their side would be much more beneficial, but it's just, everyone just jumps off Onigashima like, bam, Tama, no holds back, alright. But rewinding a bit, we see the frog is watching all the dirt and everything coming up after Momo and Shinobu had fallen through the earth via Shinobu's jutsu powers. And at first, I was reading way too much into this scene. I was like, what's gonna, like, is Momo and Shinobu about to appear? Why is he looking so, the frog that is, why is he looking so ominous? Like, what's gonna happen? But then I think the official translation maybe cleared it up, but it was Bao Wang herself was actually watching the whole thing unfold. The Marys are really interesting that they can be seen through, they can be spoken through. Momo was able to speak through the frog, but like the whole time Bao Wang was also watching Momo as he was speaking, maybe? I don't know. But not a big deal with this one scene, it's just showing that Bao Wang is now aware of what happened to Momo, so now she can go break their spirits, which she's very excited to do. It kind of worries me, Bao Wang, like, are you okay? But yeah, Bao Wang says, and Momonosuke has fallen, so that cleared it up that she was just watching what was happening there. So now she knows what happened to Momo, and they're about to try and tell everyone on Onigashima what happened to little Momonosuke. Little do they know, he's fine. Moving on to Nami, Usopp, Zeus, and Tama, we see that Zeus is officially the homie for the climatact. Unfortunately, Usopp, you weren't the one who made an anthropomorphic climatact who just suddenly awakened their powers. No, it's just Zeus, and Zeus explains how that exactly happened, and that's because Zeus, his soul in the cloud form, was kind of being sucked out while Hera was about to eat him, but in that last minute, like right before everything clashed together, Nami stuck her climatact through to try and help Zeus. So the climatact beat Hera to Zeus's soul, and so instead the soul resides now in the climatact and not in Hera. And now Nami has a, interesting companion. I'll leave it at that. Another fun SBS fact. In the recent SBS, Oda was asked to draw Nami's climatact anthropomorphized. Got it. I think I just had a stroke trying to say that word for some reason. But yeah, so we saw that the climatact was drawn as this gangly guy with like the water and the fire and the clouds. But good precursor, if you're reading the volumes and you're not caught up week to week, to seeing Zeus actually anthropomorphized in homie version though. So that's really interesting. But as they're talking and running, they make it to the stage where they interrupt Bao Wang, where she's about to tell everyone about Momonosuke and how he's dead too, but their interruption gets interrupted by Ulti. And my cat is not happy about that fact. Oh, hello again, yes, kitten. Ulti ends up appearing after getting skewered by Big Mom, which is very interesting that she is up. I mean, you know, the durability of zones, ancient zones specifically. Some people can survive getting a hole through the chest, some people can't. We'll just leave it at that. But she comes in quite impressive and headbutts Usopp to the ground and takes Tama by the throat, as she's kind of connecting the dots that maybe this little girl is the reason that all of their allies are turning over. Even Big Mom. But, you know, I mean, while she hasn't used her fruit on Big Mom, I mean, she is technically, indirectly, the cause of Big Mom's switch, at least in that moment, against Pei. That is fair, but Ulti does figure it out and is gonna do something bad to Tama before Nami goes in for an attack with the climatact against Ulti, and Zeus turns it into like a Kanabo spiked mace thing that slaps against Ulti, and even Nami's like, wait, what? And apparently Zeus can just morph the climatact to whatever he wants, or, you know, within reason. I feel like growing spikes on the end of the climatact is pretty out there in of itself, but maybe that's all he can do. I mean, you know, the question is Napoleon. Was he a sword or was he a hat? I don't know the answer to that, but maybe that would help out here with this situation of how Zeus is just able to morph the climatact itself. Bye again. But regardless, he did it. He can do it. And so she goes up and she's about to use this big attack, but she doesn't want to hurt Tama. So then Usopp comes in with an awesome combo attack and does Sargasso, Green Star Sargasso, and creates a bunch of seaweed so that Tama is carefully removed from Ulti before now Nami has a clear shot with her big thunderbolt. And then we see that Ulti quickly dashes out of the way, but Zeus, not only can he morph the climatact into a more deadly weapon, he can also, as per usual, control the attacks themselves, and so he curves the lightning bolt and hits Ulti from behind. A solid shot. She is not dodging that one. And yeah, he's like a little hype man too, because the whole time he's like, here I am, I'll help you out. You know, one good lightning blast should do it, we can do it. And it's actually a little funny, right before this happens, kind of went totally over my head in my reaction, but Zeus asks for a new name because he's technically a new homie now with the climatact, so he asks Nami, like, well, I'm not Zeus anymore, so, you know, what do you want to call me? And she says, Fluff! And Zeus, without hesitation, he's just like, anyway, so I'm Zeus, the mighty right hand of Nami. And I guess his, the name Fluff didn't suit him very well, so he was just like, I'm gonna pretend like I didn't see that. So his connection with Nami is really cute so far, and I hope this power-up stays. Not only for Nami's benefit, but also because they have a nice dynamic that, you know, she's kind of not really wanting him here, but come on, Nami, you kind of need it. And so he's gonna have to try to make it up to her, and, you know, she's always been so welcoming with Zeus, and so giving, so I'm excited to see where that goes. And, he mentions that he can't get out without Big Mom's powers, so unless Big Mom shows up again and targets Zeus specifically since he got away, I don't think Zeus is going anywhere. So this is gonna hopefully be a nice permanent upgrade for Nami, which is super cool because, I mean, did you see the chapter? Anyway, this section of the chapter was really cool because we got to see Nami introducing Zeus and, you know, as the new climatact and all the different things that he can do, but also we got Usopp action too, and then an Usopp and Nami combo attack where he helped Nami land her big attack, and, you know, they just have a great dynamic as both friends and fighters, so I love them together. Because they're not the strongest too, so the abilities that they have are much more on the creative side because they can't just go in and win fights like that. They have to be innovative. So we often get very interesting uses of their different abilities, which I find way more interesting than just like brute strength, you know? Finding a more strategic method to their fights is always interesting to see. It's nice to see them overcoming big obstacles in their way while still playing a very integral part to the war so far, as they're helping Tama get to where she needs to be so that she can give out her command and sway the Beast Pirates in a great way in the war. So Nami and Usopp are doing a great job. And they take out Ulti permanently? Maybe not. I mean, I don't know, I hope. I mean, Zeus said that Big Mom really messed her up, so one Thunderbolt should have been all it needed to wipe her out, so we'll see if she's actually out of the fight, which I think they might be, because then we see Bao Wang is kind of commenting on the scene that's unfolding before her, but she doesn't realize that she's still talking to the whole castle. So she was like, what? Ulti's defeated, 2 of the Tobi Roppo are out of the fight. Oh my god. And then you see all the Beast Pirates like, wait, what? Are we losing? Wait, hold on, this is crazy. And we get reaction shots from Sakazuki, Who's Who, and Black Maria. Wait, did I say Sakazuki? Yes, Sakazuki is here. He's gonna be fighting with the Tobi Roppo. I'm sure that'll go great. No, Sasaki. Sasaki? That's his name. Not Sakazuki. My speculation there is that since Bao Wang just announced that 2 of the Tobi Roppo are down and out, and then we get those specific 3 reaction shots of Sasaki, Who's Who, and Black Maria, that we will probably be getting a wrap-up or at least an update with the 3 of them and their respective fights. I feel like that's a pretty good segue to go and see what's going on. I mean, of course X-Drake is doing other stuff against Apu, so maybe we'll get a glimpse of what he's doing, but he's on our side anyway now, so the only 3 that are left are those 3, and we haven't really seen the fights yet in a big way. And, you know, brace yourselves, maybe unpopular opinion, I'm not overly invested in the Who's Who and Sasaki fight. I'm just not really interested past like a few panels. Like, I mean, I love Jinbei, I love Frankie, but the fights, eh. I mean, they're gonna win, right? On another note, Black Maria's fight, that is something that I am invested in. Not only because she's, I think, the most interesting Tobi Roppo, just because of her like abilities and that she's a giant, and you know, I don't know, she just seems like an interesting character too. I mean, Ulti and Page 1 were my favorite, but we got a lot of spotlights with them, so they're pretty much done. I'm gonna say, for now, at least, of important things to be done. But I am interested in Robin's fight with Black Maria and Brooke. Brooke's there too, so, you know, a Brooke and Robin team up? Tja, I want to see that. We could get a full chapter of Black Maria and Robin and Brooke and the rest of the snake people there, and I would be happy. But I'm sure that a lot of people would say the same with the Sasaki and Who's Who's fight, so hopefully we'll get a nice compromise amount of panels for all the fights so that we can see how it's going and whether or not they're gonna be ending soon, because I feel like they're gonna end before Luffy gets to Kaido. Whether we're gonna see the conclusions of their fights before or after we get to see what's happening with Luffy right now, that's whatever, but I think that all the Straw Hats are gonna be finished with their fights. I don't know about Queen and King, but I think at least the Tobi Roppo will be taken out, because that'll be even more reason that the allies are winning and doing great, leading up to Luffy fighting Kaido. I have a personal wish, not so much a theory, but a wish that maybe all 10 Straw Hats and Yamato will stand up to Kaido. I just think that would be a really cool, like, panel. But I mean, that's about where that fantasy ends, because realistically, like, the rest of the Straw Hats are going to be pretty tired and wiped out from their respective fights. And, you know, to be frank, they're just too weak to stand up to Kaido. They would probably really just get in the way unless it's some long distance thing where they can control the battlefield or do something. But, I mean, less than half the crew can withstand even a single hit from Kaido. So I don't really think that they're going to be fighting Kaido. I mean, I'm here for it if they do. But regardless, I think that their fights will be wrapped up before Luffy gets to Kaido. And then I think maybe Yamato will be the one where he and Luffy will fight Kaido. So I think that's what's really going to happen. I hope, at least. And then maybe Big Mom's fight will be wrapped up with Kid and Law. Do you think that Kid and Law will be going to fight Kaido with Luffy and possibly Yamato? Or do you think that we're gonna have like a double boss fight where we're gonna see Law and Kid versus Big Mom while Luffy and Yamato fight Kaido? Will they combine again at the end? Will it be a 2v4? I don't know, but I'm interested no matter what. Regardless, we don't even get to see Luffy this chapter, so, and we're gonna have to wait a while because there's a break. But we do see Tama stepping up, and they cut off her speech, which, like I mentioned earlier, makes me interested. What could her order be? Maybe it's more creative than we thought. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just reading into it. That could be a thing too. But we see her, and Sanji reacts like, "Oh, Tama! Oh!" And then the Speed and Gazelle Man and whoever that Scorpion guy in the background, they're like, "Oh my god, it's Tama, our master, best friends." And we also see Beppo. I just wanted to mention it, though. He's little Beppo. We don't see Sachi or Penguin, but we see Beppo. The final scene, just like last chapter, is Kaido and Yamato facing off one another. Their dialogue is interesting, especially what Kaido mentions about, you know, Wano. I just wish we had a little bit more before the chapter ends, maybe a little bit more of a clash too. We don't even really see them fight. We see them like rear up to fight, and then it pans out. We just see the haki flashing from them, and that's it. I'm not one for power scaling, but I am very interested in how Yamato measures up to Kaido. I've been super interested in him ever since he was introduced. He was super strong and using some of Kaido's techniques, so I really want to see him versus Kaido for sure. And you know, he's going to be sailing with Luffy, as he stated. So, I mean, I'm interested. Hashtag Yamato for Straw Hat. So after Yamato declares that Kaido will be driven out of Wano, Kaido responds by saying, "Now Yamato, you know that I wouldn't settle for anywhere else because it is Wano. I'm here because it's Wano." Which there's at first glance I was like, well, yeah, of course, it's Wano. It's exiled by the government. Well, not exiled, it's apart from the government. It stands on its own. It has a country full of super strong samurai. There's a lot of things that make Wano different from the rest of the world. But as you look more and more into the words, and especially from a few chapters ago where Kaido mentioned Joy Boy, you have to wonder, what's beneath the surface? How much does Kaido know? How much does the Rocks Pirates know about Dawn, and the New World, and the Poneglyphs, and everything? It's like these things that you would not expect Kaido to know, he does. And it's amping up for some interesting character development with Kaido, just the fact that he knows all these things. Because he's kind of been a little clippy, hey, did I mention that Joy Boy is someone who's important in the New Dawn? Hey, did I mention that Wano is going to have a very important role in the Dawn? Hey, did I mention that I'm really interested in something specifically in Wano? His dialogue is very interesting, to say the least. I mean, for one, we know for sure that Wano's major goal, the Kazuki clan, their goal was to open the borders of Wano for when the promised day comes, and so the borders will be open for Joy Boy's return. That was the first indication that Wano was special, and now Kaido's cementing that fact in there, so I'm really interested if there's more to it, or is it just a country, a haven for Joy Boy? Is there something? I don't know. But there's a lot of reasons that Wano is special. I just want to know what specific reason Kaido's referring to here. Maybe it's a combination of all of them. Could be that. He knows something, that's for sure. I just need more info. Anyway, Kaido is set on making Yamato Shogun of Wano to complete said special goal of whatever Wano is to Kaido. But we know that Yamato will not stand for that, because freedom and dreams and everything that Luffy stands for is also what Yamato stands for, and he will not be told what to do, especially by an abusive father. So I think that Yamato will be a great fit for the Straw Hats, and I think that he can handle it against Kaido, at least for the time being. The point is that he knows that he's not going to win. Yamato realizes that Yamato is not strong enough to defeat Kaido. He just needs to hold off until Luffy returns, and that's very brave to stand up against your abusive, powerful father who is just forcing your life into whatever he deems fit. So props to Yamato for sure, and I hope we get some more elaborate fight scenes with these two, because this is pretty cool. Hashtag Yamato for Straw Hat. Also, that haki clashing off of the top of Onigashima, it's safe to say that's Conqueror's haki. That's what Luffy and Doflamingo shot out, that's what Big Mom and Kaido, that's what Luffy and Kaido, all of the people with Conqueror's haki, when they clash, this panel is what happens. So for sure Yamato has Conqueror's haki. And even in chapter 996, we get to see when Yamato takes out that Hachi guy, one of the numbers. Yamato goes for a long range, they call it an arrow attack or something, that you can kind of see the sparks of Conqueror's haki coming off of his Kanabo. So yeah, I mean, it's Kaido's child. Are you surprised that Kaido's child has Conqueror's haki? It's, it's kind of set in stone at that point, but super cool either way. Did I mention Yamato for Straw Hat? That all wraps it up though. That is the end of the chapter, and we will be waiting 2 weeks for the next chapter. I'll have my reaction that Friday at 12 p.m. EST. If you're interested, follow me over on Twitch and also Twitter if you want to talk about the chapter, do whatever you want, more anime, One Piece, and gaming content. This chapter, reading it at first was kind of lackluster. It was kind of, one of those average chapters, which you can't fault it for that, like I mentioned earlier. But, you know, really going in depth and breaking apart the chapter, there was a lot here, honestly. And it was a lot more interesting to reread and really dissect rather than experience it for the first time. Because there wasn't that many, like, whoa moments that kept me reading and kept me interested. But going back and really analyzing it in the review and talking about my different thoughts on different scenes, it was actually a really good chapter. It was a very nice segue to maybe the Tobi Roppo fight conclusions, and maybe we'll get to see Luffy next chapter. Let me know what you guys are most excited to see in the next chapter. Do you want to see what Luffy's doing, or do you want a conclusion of the Tobi Roppo fight, or both? I personally want to see Yamato versus Kaido, because I was hoping that this chapter would have that, but they got cut off again, so I'm hoping the next chapter will see a little bit more extended scene of Yamato versus his dad. That would be pretty cool. So if you made it this far, leave a like and subscribe so you'll be notified of all my future content. I'll have an Attack on Titan update video, because that's been a while, coming out this week in lieu of a chapter. So stay tuned for that, subscribe so you'll be notified. So that covers it. Have a great day, follow your dreams, and check me next time. Bye!